All right, welcome back to episode 84 of the Scarlet and Blue Show. Big week this week for Michigan. You guys play another high school team. We'll talk about that all.
Do not disrespect Marshall. Do not
Green look
disrespect
out
them.
now. The sideline. Forget about it. This baby's over.
Oh my goodness. One man. Goodbye. Hello, Heisman.
And most especially in 310 days in Ann Arbor, Michigan, on the football field.
Another block. One more. He's touchdown. No flag. Samuel cuts it back. Ohio State wins. Here's the run again. Donovan Edwards. Whoa. Can they catch him? No. Donovan Edwards again. The down.
All right,
I love that intro. I really do.
it's a good intro. It's a good intro.
Top tier.
Okay, we're going to get right into this. This is Michigan's season this Saturday. We're going to talk about it. I think you had your game first on it, but we're just going to dive right in because I just want to
Yeah, I
get
feel
this
you,
all out
man.
there.
I feel
This
you.
is this is the game that the season after this changes. You lose this game, the expectation for the season is drastically changed. You win this game, everything's still in front of you. And this season, we thought USC wasn't going to be. I don't know. I think a lot of people thought they weren't going to be as good, and they've looked impressive. Now, Utah State is really bad, and we don't know how good LSU really is. But that's the theme for many teams in this college football landscape right now. But I do think they're a good football team. They have talent, star-studded talent everywhere. They have a quarterback who can sling it, and we just got ramrodded by a quarterback who could sling it 2 weeks ago. And so this is the week. This is the week. Wink has to show what he can do. Call up Jesse Minter, call up Mike McDonald, call up whoever you need to call up to figure out what the best situation is. Joel Klatt said that he has been blitzing too much. If that is the case,
For
so
over about 50% of the time.
yeah, and he says that is too much, which means you're probably not disguising coverages as well if you're going to do that. And so we got, big things. Offense has its question marks, but for me, the defense has to step up. Again, it's exactly the same game plan as it was against Texas in my mind in terms of like the overall scheme. If they don't get that done, we'll be very disappointed. So we could talk about the game for sure, but that is my opening statement. That's if we recorded on Sunday night again and it's a loss because we had 3 turnovers. Defense couldn't stop him. I'll be severely disappointed.
Well, that was probably as honest as you've been about this over the last few weeks.
I've been honest the whole
This
time.
season.
I've just been optimistic.
No, you have been very optimistic. You admitted to that. And actually, someone called you out about it. They didn't at you on there, but they called you out about there being delusional. I said, well, last episode Bryce did say he is being optimistic. Like he's it's not so much that he believes it; he's just being very optimistic, and there's nothing wrong with that. I think most fan bases choose to be optimistic, and I think most of us want to be optimistic. No, man, you're right. It's this is the season for you guys. I think that if you lose this game, then you look ahead at the Oregon game, then you look ahead at the Ohio State game, and then you look in between and go, okay, well, which one of these games also are going to be challenging for us, and if you lose this game, at best you're looking at an 8-4 season. So yeah, it's yeah, and the other part of it, Bryce, is that USC is just like Texas in terms of the way they play. Offensive talent want to move the ball, move the ball through the air. Oregon wants to do the same thing. Ohio State doesn't want to do it as much, but if you let Ryan Day throw the ball, he will do it. So yeah, it's interesting to see how this game is going to turn out on Saturday, and I'm looking forward to it.
It's going to be it's the recipe's the same. Bend don't break. I expect them to put up yards. It's just keeping them out of the end zone, and then it's not giving up the ball. So that's that. Yeah, I'm not a. After this week, I'll feel better about making record predictions. I just haven't seen enough. And if we go and you have 3 turnovers and we get ousted at home again, then it's just like, all right, 8-4 will be wishful thinking. But I do think we're capable of more than that. I think we can put it together. And I think the offense is going to have to be ultra creative in the sense that we're going to see a lot of packages that we just haven't seen before running the football. And I don't know. I don't know what I've seen. I saw them get creative against you guys last year. Is the offensive line at a spot where they can just go hat on a hat and beat you? It hasn't looked like it. And can they put it together this week and do that? But a lot I'm waiting for. A lot for me hinges on this game.
No, I think that's how most of the Michigan fan base feels right now. I mean, this game was you guys were favored by 8 points before the season started, and now you're a 6.5, someplace 6 or some places 5 point underdog. It's I mean, Bruce Feldman went on Rich Eisen's show and said USC's gonna smash you guys.
A lot of people are saying that.
Yeah, and I got into a little spat with some Michigan fans yesterday on X, and as I've said on this show, Bryce, anything I say on this show, I promise you, is not going to be just coming out of I'm talking on my arse. I'm going to give some valid points. I believe that USC is going to smash you guys too. Now, when I say smash you guys, I don't mean they're going to beat you 40-14. I don't mean like that. I think they'll probably get in the mid-20s, maybe the 30s, maybe. I don't see you guys getting to 20. I think that when it comes to Alex Orji, you're essentially switching up the game plan in a week. Now, with Davis Warren, the field was already shrunk to an extent because he didn't have much. He hasn't had many snaps in his career. That was his first time starting since he was in high school. Same for Alex Orji. Well, Alex Orji, we're all looking to see if he can pass. Ron Moore said in the press conference, "Look, guys, he can pass." That's not gonna be what convinces anyone that Alex Orji can throw. But what I do know, But what I do exactly. But what I do know is that the field has now shrunken even more so for you guys. As of right now, based on the knowledge that we have today, because you're a run first based offense with Davis Warren, but you are that now even more so with Alex Orji. Wide receivers aren't. We know, I don't have to harp on them anymore. I pulled this up from PFF, and I wanted to read some of these grades to you for your offensive line. Now, Miles Hinton, he has been really good this year, and I think we can all see it on the field. He's playing much better than he was last year. Much better. 82.3 run block. In the past, he's at a 62 point. Pass block, he's at 82.3, which is really good, especially for a left tackle. You want that out of your left tackle, But in the run, he's at a 62.8, so around average. Now, I think I want to take something back. I've been harping on Giovanni. I won't say harping, but I've been disappointed with Al-Hadi. Have I not? And I thought he was going to be great this year. And I've been saying that he's been playing very bad. I'm taking some of that back right now. And this is why. Al-Hadi plays right guard. Right next to him is Evan Link. Evan Link's pass block grade is 14.2 out of 100. And so it almost feels like Al-Hadi, when you have a trash guy next to you. I know he wouldn't call his teammate that, but I will. It almost makes you look bad because now you have to compensate for compensate for the guy next to you. You know what I'm saying? It's the offensive lineman is going to have to play really good, and I'm not going to say or act like USC's defensive line is some gangbusters on the run game. I mean, LSU ran for 100 yards. A lot of that had to do with because they just kept running the ball. I think they averaged under 4 yards a carry, but I think wisely believe that you guys are going to do better on the run. But what do you think about the offensive line coming against USC?
Yeah. So to the Giovanni Aldi point, that's where we talked about that a little bit last week because Moore said that Crippen Good Ice scored higher than Crippen, but the offensive line looked better with Crippen in the game. And so, yeah, I don't know.
I want to see that criteria they have. I really do.
Yeah. So, and what the criteria you just pulled is from where?
That's PFF.
PFF. Okay.
Take it with a grain of salt, everybody. Take it with a grain of salt. It's not the Bible.
Yeah. Yeah. So I saw enough plays of him where he looked lost and at crucial key moments of the game. He did not. He missed blocks and wasn't there. And someone who is supposed to be the veteran and one of the leaders on the line just didn't answer. So, I mean, yeah, I think if you're trying to cover for somebody who is not excelling at their position,
you are so nice for saying not excelling. You are a nice guy.
Yeah, they've been talking so much about him. He's had a rough season. So I don't know, man. I just think there's a lot of like big talk and yeah, either the coaches are completely lying through their teeth 100% or guys aren't showing it on the field. And it's probably yes to all those things.
Now, here's another matchup I think is going to decide this game. Your defensive backfield versus their wide receivers.
They're star-studded.
They're very good. I think this is one of those games, man. You got to let Will Johnson stay on one side and hope he locks that side of the field down. Every corner gets beat here and there, but I think you at least need to lock down one side. I'm looking at this right here. Jair Hill right now is at a 64.7 in coverage, and every single one of your safeties is under 70. Every single one of them.
So what's Johnson at? Give the comparison.
He was in the 70s. I didn't have him on it because I think though he's not playing to the standard we hold him to, it's not like he's not playing good football out there. Like the only things I was looking at was guys I thought were doing really good that I thought were very important, like Miles Hinton, because he's playing much better than he was last year. I think that's very important for a guy like Alex Orji. Alex is right-handed, correct?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I think it's very important for him on his blind side because I don't know if he has the pocket presence. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Something else I pulled. So Mason Graham and Kenneth Grant overall scoring very high. By the way, and your edge rushers, Josiah Stewart's the number one ranked edge rusher right now in the Big Ten per PFF.
Wow. Let's go. That doesn't surprise me, but that surprises me.
Yeah. Now, contrary to that, USC has very good tackles. So I'm thinking, okay, then where can I think they're gonna get some pressure, but where does the pass rush have to come from? Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham are both in the low 60s in pass rush. Now, usually you don't look for your defensive tackles with the pass rush, but if you can get it there, and actually, to be honest, I've seen Mason Graham be very good in the pass rush game. Every year I've watched Mason Graham, outside of his freshman year, of course, every year he's played football. No, even his freshman year, I thought he was a top defensive tackle, and then last year I thought he was the best defensive tackle without question. I wouldn't even argue it. No, I'm really curious because with knowing how your DBs have played, how do you think they're going to perform this Saturday?
Yeah, it's going to be that's the big thing I'm watching for. Like that is, I think it's going to be a bend don't break again. And yeah, I think Will do his thing, but there's a whole other side of the field. Mm-hmm. And I said at the end of the show, I said at last episode that Amir Hall played well last week. And I think he should be in because Jerry Harris really struggled. But it's going to be
he did score higher than Jair Hill. He did.
Amir Hall?
Yes.
So yeah, man, we're gonna have to get to the quarterback and keep everything in front of us. I really like that Branch kid. Is it Zachariah? Zachary? Oh, I got it right.
Zachariah Branch.
Zachariah Branch. That kid's a stud. And then you also just in the game adult, like you can't give up big plays, so you can't give up turnovers, but you also just can't give up stupid field flipping plays, like letting this Zachariah Branch. I don't know if he still returns punts, but I remember last year he was really good returning punts. I remember his first, I think it was the first game against Fresno. He was electric in that game, and everyone was saying his name. It was the first time I heard of him last year because I think he was a freshman last year. and 5-star. And so it's stuff like that, man. They have just so much talent. Zach Shaw has a good piece just on previewing USC, and I think he said that all of the wide receivers and tight ends are top 100 composite ranking players.
Yes, they are.
So there's going to be just oodles of talent out there. And what we saw last year was Jesse Minter scheming up perfect games against this type of talent. And just, again, it was too late now. I mean, it's Thursday, but wink. If you haven't made the call, just make the call, man. It's what? It's 5:30 in not San Diego, in Los Angeles. Just make the call.
But he seems like a very prideful guy. I mean, before the season, he was hooting and hollering about how he's the OG of the defense and all that, and
He's got to show it.
And how he, coming from the NFL, he's not worried about the college game. And I mean,
Got to show it.
do you think he sounds like a guy that's too prideful to ask his understudies for advice, even though they're better than him?
I have no idea if that's the case. I hope not. I mean, that you're gonna have a whole fan base hating you if you decide to pull that, and it's a
Right.
big fan base. So good luck doing that. I don't think he's necessarily doing it. But we'll see, man. I don't know. 6.5, 5.5 points that's a lot going on the road. But
What are you taking?
I can't bet on that.
You don't have to answer that. I know what the answer is.
But you know what I'm gonna be taking? Some of this SDB, stock to bar, delicious vodka, smooth taste with a purpose. They donate a portion of every bottle sold to the Boys and Girls Club, so go get yours at stocktobar.com.
I'm gonna be having that. Well, your game is at what time? 3:30.
3:30.
All right, so I'll be golfing during that time. I think don't worry. I'm picking up about stock to bar tomorrow. I'm bringing it. When you're golfing, you gotta have a little something.
That's an aggressive choice for the golf course.
You should. You don't know what usually it's Jaeger, but no. Everyone, please go buy stock to bar. Sold in all over Michigan, and also we do it for the kids. We do it for the kids.
For the kids. Also, dude, before I forget, because we always forget about this guy, and we always forget, but we gotta make sure.
Our lives are a collection of experiences, moments of happiness or times of great loss. First homes, new babies, property loss, even heartache. Knowing that your insurance provider is always close by offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Cut out at the end there, but that's all right. All right, yeah. So, all right, big new kickoff. It's a hilarious week where there's no other good games that Fox can get. So we're going to go to the Marshall Ohio State game.
Yeah, man, the Thundering Herd.
Yeah.
Well, first off, man, Coach Charles Huff, you seem like a really cool guy. I do not appreciate you trying to steal our players with NIL deals over that is so horrible of you.
What's it called? That's
dude, it's Tudor's Biscuits. Tudor's Biscuits, man. I guess they say you can get all you can eat biscuits, man. I think that's a really good NIL deal, to be honest with you. Someone told me I can get some free biscuits.
It's time.
No, that was actually really funny. That was really cool, and
yeah.
And Ryan Day had a great response to it. So, Coach Huff also says it's the best team he's ever seen on film. But
yeah, well, also too, I'm just seeing this here.
Yeah.
You guys are at war with Danny Cannell?
Oh yeah, baby. Hold on. Before we get to the game, Danny Cannell. Now, most of the college football, like for the top tier teams, most of us haven't played anybody. I think that's common knowledge. I mean, you can. I always say it, Bryce. You can Google Black, Bing, Yahoo, all that good stuff. Yeah, that dude. Let's not be daft. Ohio State looks great. You know they look great. They're gonna be they're gonna go to the playoffs. They're gonna be a top at the. They're gonna be a top 4 team, bro. They're winning the Big Ten. So I don't know. And truth be told, man, I mean, maybe we should have added Florida State to our schedule to bolster it up. Maybe we should have added you guys. Come on, like
Soft. All right. Tell us about Marshall, and then after this you get Sparty, right? Yeah. All right. So yeah, one last game. The spread I think on this is 38 points. Oh,
I saw 39.5.
39.5. Okay.
So Marshall is dude, this is just is this how you felt last year trying to boost these teams up?
Yep.
This is horrible. But no,
It's awful.
No, man, but Marshall, I think they're a well-coached team. Coach Charles Huff is a good coach. They have guys that can make plays. I don't want to slip on this kid's name because I said it to you earlier. But sorry about that. Yeah, AJ Turner, their running back, averaging 15 yards a carry. He does have a lot. I think he has 226 total yards, 15 carries, I believe is the math, and he's a long of 80. But even if you take away that 80, that's still a great average for him. Now the quarterback, not that good. I don't believe he's over 60% right now. So they mostly want to run the ball. He is a mobile quarterback. But this isn't the type of offense that you should fear. I think they only scored 14 points. They scored 14 points in Virginia Tech. So
did they beat Notre Dame last year, or was that 2 years ago?
2 years ago. Yeah, it was 2 years ago. 2 years ago. And so it's I'll put it this way. These are I don't want to talk too much about Marshall because I think we all understand what's going to happen to them in this game. I think we all do. So, Bryce, here are my keys to the game for Ohio State and the things I'm looking for before we go into Big Ten play and play the Michigan State Spartans under the lights at 7:30. Fix the kinks. Now, O-line, I wouldn't say we so much had to fix, but Donovan Jackson, as we said on Tuesday, is back now. Very big. Tegra has been he's now the official right guard for our offensive line. I want to see how they gel together, especially in run protection. Pass pro, I'm not worried about. I'm really not. But when it comes to running the ball, that's so important for us, especially when it comes to Chip Kelly's scheme and knowing who we have at running back. 3 deep. Actually, we're 4 deep. A lot of people don't know about Sam Williams-Dixon. Actually, he's outperforming Donovan Edwards right now. Our 4th string is. Just a fun fact. But no, what'd you say?
You played nobody, but go ahead.
I'm just saying. I'm just giving the stats.
Mm-hmm.
Another kink that I want us to fix: linebackers. Now, Sonny Styles is solidified starting linebacker. He's our best linebacker, bar none. Easily our best linebacker. Cody Simon came back last week, played very well. Arvell Reese, I have him as the player to watch today on Saturday. I think he's going to play a lot. I think he is now our LB3 going over CJ Hicks. CJ Hicks has struggled, which is sad. Honestly, just to stay on this for a second, seeing him perform how he is right now is very disappointing. Ohio kid, number 1 linebacker in his class coming out of high school.
Mm-hmm.
Took an injury his freshman year. Last year didn't play too much, but this year, man, this is your chance to solidify yourself as a Buckeye linebacker. He's made some decent plays, but man, it's just not what you expect out of him. You know what I'm saying? And I hope that he gets some more snaps and he's able to improve going into Big Ten play, because now this is the last week, man. Preseason is about to end, and if you can't play in the preseason, why should we believe you can play in the real season? This is, a lot of people like to talk down Big Ten football, and even Big Ten fans like to do the same. What I see out of Michigan State, I don't want him out there when Aiden Childs is throwing the football around. He might throw a couple picks, but I've seen Aiden Childs throw NFL throws every single game. So, yeah, man, that's that. But fix the kinks. Any questions you have about that?
Anything on offense?
Oh, yes, I do have a few things on offense. Find out who is tight end number 1. Jelani Thurman. I'm sorry, I'm fixing my camera right now. Jelani Thurman, G. Scott, Kamarick. I'm horrible pronouncing his name, dude. It's one of those weird names. Not weird names, but just difficult names. Difficult names. It's kind of like a Dutch name, man. It's just difficult to pronounce. But shout out to South Christian. But no, man. I'm not impressed with our tight end play right now. Thurman got in last week. I had an argument. Well, not an argument. But a lot of Buckeye fans don't feel the same on this play when he dropped that touchdown that Will Howard threw to him. Now, Will Howard threw it in tight coverage. The ball literally hit his hands. Bryce, it was right here. And he dropped it, bounced right off. And so I want to see consistency, and especially in blocking. They haven't been bad, but I want to see more consistency at that. Will Howard, last week they ran a lot of RPO, and he looks perfect in it. It looks great. I want to see more of that. I still want to see the downfield things, but we know you can do that now. That was a big question mark for Will Howard coming into this season because he was very bad at Kansas State throwing the ball downfield. Of course, when you're playing with Ohio State talent, it looks better. It's going to happen more often, so I'm happy about that. But I want to see more RPO in this offense. And outside of that, man, it's hard to find things with this team to talk about in terms of fixing, especially offensively. But that's what I want to see. For the defense, just do what you're doing. Just keep doing what you're doing.
See, this is fun. This is what I did last year, and now you're reaching for everything. You guys won. What was the score of the first 2 games? 44-6.
6, and then man, what was I know we gave up 0, but
yeah, I don't remember.
Yeah. By the way, I do want to just harking back to USC. I do want to give USC credit for shutting out Utah State. That is not. People forget in today's football, it is not easy to shut a team out. It is not easy. So I do want to give them credit for that.
Okay, fair enough.
It's not easy to shut a team out. It really isn't, dude. It's not easy.
All right.
So,
okay. Shout out SC.
I mean, you guys didn't shut out Arkansas State, one of the worst teams in college football, but
they're not one of the worst teams in college football. Get out of here.
No, Bryce, they're literally ranked near the bottom in defense.
Yeah. Okay. Well, their offense is decent, so
Nah,
they're not. There's no way they're the worst. Stats here. I think Utah State might be up there. Buddy.
They definitely are. But I'm saying they didn't give up 18 though.
Yeah, garbage points, garbage minutes. That's something we got to work on.
Arkansas State had the backups in too.
Yep. All right.
But any questions you have about Ohio State right now that you want to see answered before Big Ten play?
No, I want to see them. I think Michigan State's going to be the first time we'll be like, all right, how good is this team? Because I don't think Michigan State is anything special, but I do think they do have more talent than any of the teams you played. And I do like sure. Jonathan Smith. I think he's a good coach. And so I don't like him, but I think he's a good coach. And so I think he'll come up with something. And that game that's in East Lansing, right?
No.
Oh, that's at home?
All black jerseys.
Again? You guys did that last year.
Dude, hey, listen. When Michigan State comes to town, what did I say last year, man? Like, listen. Our son is coming to the, they're coming over. They must have probably misbehaved. Sometimes the mom sends their kid over to their father. And, daddy sometimes got to give a little pow. But I don't think this is going to be the same as you've seen the last few years. Like I said, I think I will talk about that next week. We'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, talk about it next week. Yeah. No, I don't have any question. I think Jeremiah Smith is the one question mark I had this season. That dude is.
You had some questions about Will Howard. Has he answered them yet?
No, he hasn't looked bad, but he hasn't answered anything yet. Again, you even said it here. You just said he's got so much talent around him. Like, it's ridiculous. So but come Michigan State, let's see.
Yeah. Yep. Michigan State has never mind. I'm sorry.
All right, we'll talk about it later.
You know I'm a closet MSU fan. You know I am.
I know. All right, what other Big Ten matchups are we looking at? Anything else?
Well, Michigan State, Boston College.
That's in Chapel or Chestnut Hill, I think is what it's called. Yeah, that's gonna be awesome.
Why do you know that? Why do you know that?
Dude, I know every camp. Give me a camp. Give me a school. Anyone, random one. Big school. Not big, but
where is
I won't even Google it.
Where is UCF located?
Central Florida, Orlando. Easy. Easy. Come on.
USF.
Tampa Bay. St. Pete.
You're a freak, dude.
FAU. Boca Raton.
Whoa.
Let's go up.
Wait, why do you know that? Like, for what reason do you need that knowledge? I mean, it's cool. Don't get me wrong. I can't do it. I can't do it. So.
Do you know where Marshall is?
West Virginia.
I know. What city?
Marshall. I really don't know.
Huntington.
But shout out to Marshall, man. One of the, We Are Marshall, cool movie. If you haven't seen it, everybody, if you're a young person watching this show, go watch that movie. It's a very good story. It's a true story, first off, but very good, very good movie.
Very true. It was named after John Marshall, the 4th Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. There you go.
But no, man, Michigan State. This is this can be a monumental win for them. And for most people, it's Boston College. Well, Boston College is a good football team, and I think they're gonna pull it off. I'm all in on John Smith, Aiden Childs, and Nick Marsh. Their defense is playing really good right now. Like, to my surprise, they were playing very good.
Mm-hmm.
There's a rejuvenation right now going on in East Lansing, I believe. It's a top in terms of in sports. Actually, just in terms of colleges, they're top 20 in revenue. Like, they're literally top 20 in revenue. There's no reason why the Michigan State football program should ever be bad. They should be at worst an 8-win team every season. And so I think something's brewing there, and I think this will be the launching pad before they go and handle business against you.
I'll say this: the last 3 years of success, even though we did lose them in 2021, the last 3 years of success have made me really underappreciate that rivalry. And if things don't go well Saturday and the season's expectations change, then that rivalry becomes a lot more significant. And what? I'm cool being back on that. It's a fun rivalry. Now that I'm back in Michigan.
And I think once you get out of the Mel Tucker days, I think Jonathan Smith is a much different person, very different person than he is. I think it will help. And I think Sharon Moore is a nicer guy than Jim Harbaugh. I think it will help kind of cool off the rivalry a little bit. Get it back to having some type of respect in it,
Some civility.
Yes.
Yeah, well, Mark D'Antonio started that all, so.
Oh, Mike Hart started that all.
And then you're not gonna blame a college kid.
And then Mark, he was a grown man as far as I'm concerned. And then Mark D'Antonio proceeded to put belt to ass. That's what he did. That's what he did.
He set the tone in that rivalry, and that's what we got. Where we got. Other games: Illinois, Nebraska, Friday night. That one was fun.
So on Monday I was on Cliff and Max show, a Big Ten team rivalry. Everyone go subscribe there. Great show. I think this is going to be the Dillon Raiola game, the coming out party. Illinois has a really good defense. So is Nebraska. But I think some guys, Bryce, are just too talented to fail. Too talented. They might have some hiccups. But then there's always that game where, where guys come onto the scene. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
I think this is going to be Dillon Raiola's game. I've been very strong about this. I think by the end of the year, he'll, if not the best, he will be a top 3 quarterback in the Big Ten. When you watch him play, man, it's beautiful. He looks like a senior out there. That's what he looks like. And they haven't had to go and throw the ball with him a lot. They're putting him in great situations. Kind of the situations you would hope that Michigan does against USC. But I think in this game, Bryce, I'm talking 250 to 300 passing yards. I think because you haven't seen it yet. You haven't seen it. I don't think they're gonna blow Illinois out. But I think they're gonna handle them pretty well. And I think it's because of Dillon Raiola.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. I think it's at home. Everything you said. I think he is the real deal. And this is and it's an apt analysis. And this will be the game.
Is that game at night?
Yeah, 8:00.
Oh, 8:00 in Lincoln, Nebraska. The best fan base in college football. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, dude, they got Purdue and then Rutgers and then Indiana before you guys. I mean, they're gonna be 7-0, right?
When they come to Columbus, Ohio, 7-0. That game is gonna be insane. And it's going to be a shame that big noon kickoff is going to steal a great night game from us.
I think you're right. I think you're absolutely right. Well, let's fast forward here. It's the 7th. So that is where are you numbnuts?
Did you say where are you numbnuts?
Oh, yeah. So you have the 7th to the 13th. That's Oregon. And even Nebraska after Oregon, right?
And it's even more fun, Bryce, because of where they're placed between 2 away games of Oregon and Penn State.
Yeah, almost a sleeper.
I think that's the hardest 3-game stretch in the Big Ten, and it's not even close.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. There would be nothing else to have to go to Oregon, play Nebraska, and then go to No, that's true.
By the way, did you know that you guys are underdogs right now to Indiana?
Really? I love it. Bring it. That's where we want to be.
Rutgers, Virginia Tech. Well, you know what? We'll get there. We'll get there.
Yep. All right. Well, let's see. Let's go with the picks. Where is it? There we are. All right. Boom. Oh,
I mean, you guys switch the view so we can see your. Oh, wait, hey, I know I'm pretty, but come on.
Can I expand this? I don't know.
No, I think that's a good view. Oh, stop it! All right, now you're doing too much.
Boom. All right, hit us off.
All right, man. USC, Michigan. I am taking the under.
So hold on, rewind. You said that USC will score 30 points, meaning
I know. I said I think they can get to 25 to 30.
Okay, so that would mean we score a touchdown and maybe field goal.
Maybe field goal, or like maybe they score a little bit less because I think I think there's a. Well, listen, that's my football mind. This is my betting mind. Okay. I can see a world where Michigan takes a lot of that clock away. Do they finish the drive? No. But I believe they get 30, 40 yards, punt the ball, 20 yards, punt. Like I think I can see that. And so, I'm not going to sit here and act like your defense isn't good. But I think even though I think it has a chance to get torched. But I would take the under on that. A lot of that has to do with your offense. but also your defense. I think they're going to play better than they did against Texas. Rutgers plus 3.5 at Virginia Tech. I should just say money line, but the 3.5 is just too. The 3.5 is just too easy for me. Rutgers has been my sleeper for the playoffs since the offseason. I am going to double down on that. I think Rutgers defense is just too good. I think Virginia Tech I thought they're going to be pretty good this year. I was wrong. I don't see it. So yeah, take Rutgers 3.5. Navy and Memphis 49.5. Now, you know what, Bryce? Just give me a second here, okay? Can you give me a second here? Okay.
Oh boy. I'm looking right now to see if I placed the Rutgers bet because I love that pick too. And I didn't place this, so we got to get this one on the card for the week. Rutgers, bet responsibly, of course, people. Rutgers plus 2.5. Yeah, that's too easy. Money line.
All right, so I can't find my Dixie cup that goes to my Navy dress whites, but as maybe you've been a viewer on this show since we started last year, you would know that I am an U.S. Navy vet. This is all bias, baby, no breaks. Let's go midshipman. Weigh the anchor. Take the under, though. I think Navy runs the ball very well this year. I think they're a very good team. They're well coached. Memphis, also a very good team. But I think that Navy is going to have the ability to drive the ball in Memphis a lot and be able to get some points. But also, when they don't get points, play well enough defense or take the clock away to the point where Memphis doesn't do a lot of scoring. So that's just why I have that. But yeah, let's go midshipman.
Okay. You want midshipman not to score, but you want them to win but not score. And you want the defense to lock down.
Yeah, that's all I want.
Okay.
That's all I want. Yeah, I did say Liberty -6, didn't I? I did tell you that.
You did.
Okay. Now, when it comes to Liberty, I'm not confident in this pick, Bryce. But I found something out that gave me some confidence. ECU's quarterback, Garcia, has 8 interceptions already on the season. That stat alone tells me they're going to cover this. Garcia is going to get the ball away. Liberty has a lot of talent. That's a good football team. I think they're better than ECU. And if you're a people want to get on Davis Warren. Man, this guy has 2 more picks to him. 2 more. That's insane to me. This early in the season, you have 8 interceptions. What are you going to finish with? So, yeah, take Liberty there. In Iowa, Minnesota, under 35.5. Need I say more?
No. 35 feels high.
It does. So tell me about yours.
So I love the whole lineup. I love the board. I love everything. I feel great about all my picks. Northwestern, that should be Northwestern plus 10. Why did I put -10? That should be plus 10. They're dogs. Yeah, that should be changed. I don't know if I can change that right now. Maybe I can. Let's see if it works.
Oh, we know now. We know what you meant.
I didn't change. But yeah, that's Northwestern plus 10. They're dogs to Washington, and they go on the road for that game. So
I'm gonna tune into that.
Yeah, a lot of purple. But I like the Cats there. Florida State has to get right eventually. That's going to be this is essentially a pick'em game. This is against Cal. Cal's coming in to Florida State at night. It has to get fixed, right? It has to.
I took about 2 minutes just doing some research on Cal, and I almost did it. I almost took Cal. I almost did it.
They beat Auburn in Auburn, so they can travel well, but Florida State's 0-3. Florida State hit their season win total under in 3 games. I don't think I've ever heard of that happening. And like if your win total is so like significantly low, maybe, but like 3 games and all of a sudden they already hit that. Like that's crazy. It's got to be getting right here.
Florida State is one of those programs that have no business starting 0-3.
Georgia Tech, Boston College. Who else are those 2? Clemson. No. Who's his third game?
It was
Memphis.
Memphis. Yeah.
Which Memphis? I think so. I think those are three decent teams.
You have
But
no business being 0-3.
You can't go 0-3.
That is Florida State.
Yeah. All right. So this is
My
the
favorite
time
football.
game, right?
My favorite college football entrance in college football, by the way.
It's a good one. Who else I got? And I got Auburn -3. They have. Where did they go? Here we are. Arkansas. I think Arkansas is abysmal.
I looked at that game too. Huh.
Yeah. Texas Tech -2.5. They have Arizona State. It's in Lubbock at night. So I kind of like that one.
That's not easy.
No. Actually, no, check that. It is a 3:30 start game, but it'll end in the dark. And then last one is LSU -24, which is a fun matchup. They play UCLA in Baton Rouge. I think
UCLA is gonna get hammered. They're gonna get hammered.
Yeah.
I like that. I like that pick, Bryce. I like that one.
All right. Well, there it is, boys and girls. The picks are in. We got a big one.
Do you have a winner for the USC Michigan game?
Of course, I'm gonna take Michigan.
Why? You don't have to do that.
I have to. What do you mean I don't have to do that? It's literally the staple of this show.
No.
You have to ride with that.
The staple of this show is me and you are very smart gentlemen who are not too biased, and we come here with facts and good analysis. Okay. That's what we do on this show. You don't believe it. You don't even believe it. That's the sad part.
I'm very nervous. I talked to my pops, and he's like, "Why is everyone doubting us?" I was like, "Well, Dad, have you been watching?" I love you, pops, but
he's such a Michigan grad.
He loves. So I think we can make it work.
Boy, man,
you got to clean things up. This has to be the best week of practice we've ever had. If it's not,
I gotta have a sit down with that guy. I just need to
go blue.